Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to make some coasters, and I am set up already. As you can see, what I have here, my last video, if you saw it, I did a Dollar Tree haul, and I bought a few things such as this roll of ribbon with fall leaves and mushrooms on it, and this one with pumpkins on it. And my original thought, I had also bought these mesh things, which I was going to put underneath on the bottom, but it wasn't working out too well because it just falls apart when I cut it. So I'm going to find another use for that. But what I did end up doing is I used this mesh that's a little bit tighter and it doesn't fall apart when you cut it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep it that way or if I'm going to do a color background maybe. Actually, you know what? I am going to keep that because I am mixing up the full 8 ounces that's going to go in here. So otherwise I'll have to use the resin for something else, and I don't have time to do that this evening. So we're going to keep it just as it is. So the way I have it is now is I cut out the piece of mesh to fit in the square coaster just to give it a little bit of color. And then I'm placing the ribbon right inside. I just cut it to fit. It's actually a little bit, does it print? Oh, you know what? I just realized there's 2 sides to this, and I had it on the wrong side. It was the lighter side. So what I'm gonna do is I got my resin mixing right now. As soon as it's done, I'm gonna take these out, and then I'm gonna pour a little bit of resin in. And I'm also going to dip the mesh in the resin so that way it will stay at the bottom. If I just pour the resin in and put it on top and then pour more resin on top of that, it's going to float up. I've had that happen before, and I don't want to have that happen again. So, and I'm using my heat mat tonight. It's been getting a little bit colder here, so it's taking longer to for these guys to set up. Alright, so I think my mixing is done. I'm going to let this drip out. And the best way to clean this off, I usually use baby wipes, but I accidentally left them open and they all dried up. And I thought I had another pack, but I can't seem to find it. So what I like to do is let it drip off as much as I can into the cup so that I'm not wasting. And then I just give it a little bit of a spray with my 91% isopropyl alcohol, and that just helps wipe it up a little bit. It may not get everything, but it gets pretty good. I actually went and cleaned this today with my my razor knife. Once it's dried on there, you can kind of peel it off. So I kind of did that today because it had quite a bit left on there. Alright, so we're good with that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and pour a little bit into each mold, just enough to cover the bottom. And then I'm also, like I said, going to dip my mesh into the resin so that it will help it from sinking. So I'm just going to put that in and then spread this out across the I'm going to use a popsicle stick just to make sure that it gets all the way to the sides. So now you can see that it's not going to come up because it has been saturated. And I'm just going to spread these out so that I don't have to spread it once it's in the mold. It's easier if you do it this way. Alright, so now I'm going to dip my second one. And you notice I didn't really dip it in like all the way. I just got a good portion of it so that it doesn't spread. Or I mean it doesn't you know, go up. And then again, I'm just gonna push it to the side and make sure that it's in there evenly and in all the corners. And then after I get all the mesh in, I'm going to also dip the ribbon in for the same reason, so that it doesn't float up to the top. Alright, perfect. Add a little bit more to this guy because I don't think it's quite enough in the bottom. Alright, got this last one soaked, and I'm just gonna dump it in. Alright, so now I'm gonna dip in these guys. We're gonna pour the rest of the way. I'm gonna have to mix a little bit more up of this. I didn't do quite enough. Well, I probably did, but I think I lost some. It dripped on the table and when I was dipping in the stuff. Alright, I'm just gonna add a little bit more into here. I'm trying to see if I need more in any of these other guys. Alright, so Gonna see this one, even though I dipped it, it's coming up just a little bit, but this is gonna be the back side, so that's okay. Gonna give a little bit of a spray with my 91% isopropyl alcohol. I've been doing this instead of torching because I've learned that torching can actually ruin the molds. So I have to remember from now on to do that and not torch. And that actually got rid of the bubbles pretty well. So we're gonna let this set, and my husband and I are going to the gym, and when we get back these should be ready to demold because I'm using my heat mat. So we'll see you in a little bit. Hey guys, we're back for the second part of this video. Is to demold these coasters. Now, you can't really see the mesh in here. It was orange like this, which on camera you can see that's orange, but for some reason when I put, even though it was clear resin, when I put it over, it doesn't really show through, even when you look at it from the back side, which is where I put it. So what I'm gonna do, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I have this, what color is this? Oh, Berry Wine acrylic paint by Folk Art. And what I'm gonna do is just paint the back with the acrylic paint. And let's see if that does anything. I haven't tried this before, painting on resin, so I don't know how that's gonna work, but we're gonna find out together. I'm always about finding things out on this channel, it seems like, because I feel like I'm always having trouble with something or another. And I may need to do a second coat, I don't know. We're gonna see when I flip this over. I'm just gonna do a rough, like a rough coat, so to speak. Rough draft, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And see what I need to do, if I need to. And it doesn't matter if it's perfectly smooth. Hey guys, we are back, and I started to demold these coasters and show you what I was going to do with them, and my camera ran out of room to store the video, so it cut me off. So what I did, and I'm going to do another coat later of this, but it's Berry Wine by Folk Art. And what I'm doing is, because, let me show you on this one, since I don't know if it caught, how much it caught of the other, but I used this orange mesh at the bottom, and then I put the ribbon. Now, you can't really see the orange mesh. No matter what side you look at, it's really hard to see. It's not as bright orange as what you actually see on camera physically on the mesh. So what I decided to do was take this Berry Wine and paint the back of these coasters. And as you can see, it does give it a little bit something extra and makes it look better, because when it was clear, to me it was boring. And I'm gonna have to do a second coat because you can kind of see through this still a little bit, and I don't want you to be able to see through it. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint the backs of these, and then let them dry, and then do a second coat, because it's definitely gonna need a second coat. So that's what I'm doing with these for now. So I'm gonna fast forward this part. I don't think you need to sit here and watch me paint these, because it's gonna take a little bit of time. first coat is dry enough that I think I can put a second coat on. It's not completely dry, but like I said, it's kind of dry to the touch. So I'm gonna go ahead and start applying a second coat, and maybe by the time I get done with the second coat of this, the next one I did will be ready for a second coat as well. If not, I'll let them dry and I'll come back and do the second coat later. But before I put the backing on, I definitely need to let these dry 100%, and I want to seal them, because in case over time, if the backing I put on loses its stickiness and they have to take it off, I don't want it to peel the paint off. Yeah, I'm gonna let those other ones dry real quick, a little bit longer, maybe about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll come back to these. And I totally forgot, I did a Dollar Tree haul in my last video, and I forgot to show you guys this because it was on my kitchen table. This is a paintbrush cleaner. So I just filled some water in here, throw my brush in there and mix it around a little bit, and gets the paint right off. And this is perfect because not only does it not make a mess when I'm swooshing it around, I always tend to forget to bring water out here to clean my brushes. So this will help me because this will be mine, and I'll just leave it out here and just fill it with water, you know, as needed. So, and then it has this lid that just closes in place. I mean, it's $1.25. It's not, you know, the most brilliant thing, but not the most, like the top is not super sturdy, so you do have to be careful not to knock it over because it may open and spill out. But yeah, so let's take a look at this one real quick and see. Yeah, see, that is so much better. Now, it does make the leaves look a little bit lighter, not lighter, but like less bright, but that's okay. We will brighten it up with the sides. I'm gonna do with my gold Sharpie metallic pen. So once this is all dried, we'll get to that as well. But I'm gonna let these sit here and dry for now, and we'll come back in a little bit. All right, we are back, and these are dried. So what I did was I sealed these with 2 coats of decoupage gloss. So that helps seal it in. It's a glue sealer finish. You can use it for any of those things. So that's what I did. I put 2 coats of that on there and let it dry. And then last thing I did was I took, these are my coaster backings. They were a little bit big, so I cut them to size. And then I'm just going to attach them to the back here. And make sure that they're even. That looks like I may have cut this one a little bit too small, but that's okay. As long, if it doesn't fit the whole thing, just at least make it fit like in the middle. The whole thing doesn't need to be covered necessarily. I usually like to do that just because I think it looks nicer, but if it doesn't, just cut off what you need to, or place it where you think it fits best. Alright, that's perfect. So now I'm going to do the other ones, and hopefully these are okay. I traced them out, but sometimes, actually I realized these coaster molds, I think I'm going to try to get some new ones because these sides are too flimsy. And so I think that's why some of these coasters, like that one, was a little bit off on the sizing. I should have done each one separately. but it's all right. We'll make it work. But yeah, the sides are flimsy. So when I pour the resin in, it kind of like spreads it like that, and then they're not exactly straight. So I'm gonna see if I can find some better ones on Amazon, or I don't know, somewhere, some other place. Because I think I got these on Amazon. I'd have to double check, but pretty sure that's where I got them. And unfortunately, I got a bubble in this one, if you can see it right there. So that is what it is at this point, but I tried to be careful to not let that happen, but sometimes it does, so it's all right. Not the end of the world, but all right. And then I'm gonna do one more, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is use my bronze. I think this is a bronze. I'm gonna see if I can get, I don't have one, but I'm gonna see if I can get a gold one. But I think because this has goldish bronze in the ribbon, I think it will go good. I just had the last one to put on, and I lost it. Of course, that happens to me. I just picked up the paper. I didn't drop it. Where did it go? I swear I did 4 of them. Well, I'm gonna get another one. I'll find it somewhere laying around. So what I'm gonna do, just to show you anyways, actually it's a good idea. So I just put this up to the corners, and then I do it on the white side so that I'm not messing up the cork side, and then just draw a light line with my X-Acto knife. I keep calling this an X-Acto knife, but I don't know if that's what it is. I feel like it's something different. And then I take my scissors and cut that. I just cut it so that I'm not cutting through my board or whatever I'm doing it on. Okay. Maybe I only did cut 3. I don't know. I could have swore I had 4. Alright, perfect. That is on. And I noticed one of these was a little over the edge. So I'm just going to trim that. See if I can trim with my scissors. And then, yeah, there we go. Check the rest of these. Those are good. This one was a little over. You can use the little X-Acto, but I like to use the scissors if and when I can, just because sometimes the X-Acto knife is, especially if it's not super sharp, it's hard to cut with it. Alright, so we are all done. So now let's get to coloring the sides here. I have to look on my Amazon order. I think that's where I ordered these pens from, because I can't see for some reason I don't see a color on here. I don't know why. It says the brand and everything else, low smell, all that, but can't see the name of the color for some reason. And I just noticed a little dripping that went on the side. So I just take my little knife and cut it off and make it even. If it's a big piece, you can sand it down with either like a Dremel tool or a sander, but it's pretty small, so I just use my little X-Acto. And there we go. So these are definitely way better than they were. They're not perfect, but again, I think these molds are not very good. Very flimsy, not really sturdy. So I'm gonna see if I can find some other ones, but this is them. I just gave them a wipe on top with some 91% isopropyl alcohol to get off any of the paint from the pen that got on there. May have gotten on top. See, it's on my hand, and I think I just got some on there now. So let's wipe a little bit of this off. That's one thing you got to be careful, is these pens do get everywhere. So there's those two. Then you have these two, and they're all set. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will be trying this again, hopefully with some different coaster molds. I have some round ones that came in this set also. So I have a feeling those are kind of the same. They're just kind of flimsy. So I'm going to see if I can find a different set of those. But that's it for today's video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.